Welcome to the Movie Pick, where my dad and his co-host do a deep dive on their favorite movies and all the things they love about them. Hope you enjoy this week's movie pick, recorded in Just Studios, and give us a rating, but only if it's a good one.
All right, so I'm really hoping that this is going to be a fun podcast, but I don't know because A, I'm not that lucky. Two, we have smoke detectors. And D, we live on the most boring street in the whole United States of America where nothing even remotely dangerous will ever happen. And Tia, thank you for doing this one with me, first off.
You're welcome. And that definitely sounded like some buzz math
That
right
was that was
there.
some the A, the two, and then the D. But so I was really nervous with the Jurassic Park podcast because it was the first one. And for whatever reason, I feel just as nervous with this one because this is um, like when I think about my upper echelon movies, like when I think about the Dumb and Dumber, the Lord of
Like
the
your top
Rings.
tiers.
Yes, when I think about Dumb and Dumber, Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future, all
You,
the
you want to do it justice.
yes, this movie's up there. Like my heart is racing right now.
It's right up there with First Kiss.
Yeah, well,
Talking
yeah.
about Home
Yeah,
Alone.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a great movie. So $18 million budget. What would be your guess for what it made worldwide?
That it's still making.
Yeah, it's still making a lot of money.
Still making money.
Yeah,
Uh, you said 18 million was
the
the
budget. That's how
budget.
much they spent to
I'm
make
gonna
it.
say 270.
$76 million. They this was number 12 or number 1. I'm sorry. This was the number 1 movie for 12 consecutive weeks. So for like 3 months, it was the number 1 movie.
I do have to ask this question. When did it come out? Like what month of the year?
I actually didn't look that up.
I'd be curious to know this 12-week business because
I
if it
it would
came out like after Halloween, yeah, that would make sense for it to be, a 12-week runner. But if this came out in like March, April, like it just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm 90% sure it was in November.
Because some of your other Christmas movies that you've talked about
Mhm.
come out in July.
Yeah, some of this was November 16th,
Okay.
1990.
So even
Um,
after Christmas.
yeah, yeah. No, this was before Christmas, not
I
after.
know,
Oh,
but you're saying 12 weeks.
oh
I mean,
yes,
people are
yes.
still
I'm
going to
sorry.
see it
Yeah,
well after Christmas.
I thought we were gonna have to go through the months of the year when
No,
you were
I'm
saying
good.
November. Yeah, yes. So well, it stayed in the top 10 until June of the next year. So this movie like dominated the box office. It was crazy. Like I remember and the reason I knew it had to be November was we'll get to like we talk about first memories of the movie. This was a Thanksgiving movie for me. Like we've already covered one of them with Clueless.
Oh, that you
Uh,
go see on Thanksgiving at
yeah,
night with your family?
yeah, yeah. So like when I was a kid, we would go see a movie every Thanksgiving for Chris or for Thanksgiving. And this was one of those for me that I went to see on Thanksgiving Day. And I think the second one came out 2 years later, so I saw it. I think Hook was the one in between there. But anyway, so this earned the Guinness World Record as the highest grossing live action comedy ever domestically, which means in the US. And it held it for 27 years until the Chinese film Never Say Die took the worldwide title in 2017. It was surpassed by Barbie in 2023 as far as the domestic box office. So I just thought all that was crazy. Like how
Yeah.
long this movie dominated. Like that's why I said like I was nervous to even talk about this movie. This was upper echelon. Uh, One interesting thing right at the beginning, it was trashed by Siskel and Ebert.
Oh, the, movie critics.
Yes, the movie I watched the video of them talking about it, and they completely dumped on the movie. Like, they did not like it. They talked about how it was so unrealistic. They liked the premise of a kid being left alone, but I think they wanted, like, some kinda dark story to it, and they didn't like the fact that we got, like, this slapstick, like, Three Stooges look.
Coincidental, a lot of coincidences. But, it is unrealistic to, a lot of
Yeah,
especially we've talked about with all the things with Harry and Marv. But one thing I like about the movie is that, like, as a rational, realistic person, there are so many things that you're like, you would not forget your child, or
Right.
they would somebody in that house would have woken up. Like, you think those things in your head, but they always give you some little previous thing of why it didn't work out,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
the electrical shortage, or
Yeah. Yeah. The alarm not
they
going
had
off.
the
Yeah.
neighbor kid come over
Yeah.
when they were doing the head count,
Yeah.
and his mom packed his bag, so that's why his bag is there. So there's always an explanation of why something is happening that's going down, and I appreciate that about it for the person that is realistic and rational.
Well, and they in the dinner scene when he hits Buzz in the stomach, when Buzz eats all of his cheese pizza. Like, this is getting a little ahead of ourselves, but like John Hughes, the writer of this, covering all of his bases.
Oh,
One of
yeah,
them,
the plane ticket goes in the
yeah, the dad
trash.
accidentally throws Kevin's plane ticket in the trash. I didn't notice that till a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
As many times as I've seen this movie. So what are your first memories of Home Alone?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have a first memory of Home Alone, it's just always been there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what year did we say this come out?
90.
Yeah, so 3 years old when this came out,
Yeah.
so it's just always been there.
So this one, I mean, like I said, it was huge for me when I was a kid because I was 7 when this came out. The character of Kevin was 8 when this came out, and so I was 1 year younger. And in real life, I'm like maybe 2 or 3 years younger than Macaulay Culkin, but I was 1 year younger than the character, so it was huge for me because I saw. I was like, man, I could do that. Like I wanted to, like I was hoping there would be a weekend where mom and dad would forget me at home and I could take out a couple people trying to rob our house. Like that was a dream of mine as a kid just because of this movie. In our reality, I would have stayed under the bed like
Oh,
you did to
yes,
the
how
kid.
many of us thought we were gonna be brave, but in
Yeah,
reality, when it comes down to it, we are all hiding under that bed.
yeah. But I have a lot of good memories of this movie. I mean, it was one I watched a ton as a kid. Now I have the hard rule of only watching Christmas movies from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Um, but then I would watch them, like, especially Home Alone, I'd watch it year round. So I watched this all the time when I was a kid. But this was what I would call a Meemaw movie for me because my grandmother bought it for me. Like the year after this came out, she bought it for me for Christmas, and she would spend the night with us on Christmas Eve after my grandfather passed away. And so I remember us watching it like the night that she bought it for me. So she bought it for me and then went to spend
That's
the
a
night with
sweet
us. Yeah.
memory.
So I remember her watching it with us or watching it with me. And then for us, for our family, one of my favorite memories of this movie is we did a Christmas card
Oh,
of this
yes.
movie.
Um, we usually our family, I failed this year. We try to do a Christmas card that is Christmas movie based. If you've ever seen one, you know what I'm talking about. We've done a lot of different Christmas movies, and one year I was not in the picture, I took it, but our son Jared was Kevin.
He was the right age too. Like he was like around that
Yes.
8 or 9 years old, something like that.
And Evie was Harry,
Hmm.
and Dave was Marv's. So
Our
our
daughter Evie
daughter,
was hairy, and she had like the
she was what,
toboggan.
only like 5?
Yeah, with the feathers and everything, which made sense because I was the taller one, obviously,
Yeah.
and so I wore a wig and then had, like, Tia lipstick put lipstick iron marks on my face. It looked like an iron from far away, so, it was good. It was a fun one. And then a new memory that we just got to make from this movie was we just bought the McAllister House Lego set. So this was like I said, this is one of those movies that is like an all-timer for me. One of my favorites. Now, talking about Macaulay Culkin for just a second and he had a little controversial take this week, a fun one. But he was saying that this movie's a Christmas movie, but Die Hard is not a Christmas movie because it could take place at any time. Like, and he referenced it could take place at St. Patrick's Day.
Wait, say it again?
He was saying Home Alone is a Christmas movie,
Huh?
but Die Hard is not because it could have taken place at any time of year.
Okay.
Agree or disagree?
I mean, they both could have taken place at any time of year, but his parents were away because of Christmas vacation.
That was my thinking. Was if you want to say, I view Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
Wah, wah, wah.
I view Home Alone as a Christmas movie, but I think both of them could have happened with or without Christmas. Like Elf could not have happened without Christmas.
Yes, because it's a Christmas character.
Exactly. Four Christmases could not have happened without Christmas.
Because that's why they're visiting their family. But that's
Exactly.
what I'm saying about Kevin's family. That's the reason that they're all
They
going to
could have been out
Paris
of town for
together.
4th of July.
Yeah, you're right.
So all I'm saying is I disagree with him because I think that I think both are Christmas movies, but if you say one's not and the other, then you have to go. I think they're both in that same lane.
Did
That
you did you also see where Macaulay Culkin said that his children now get to watch Home Alone and they don't realize
yeah,
that it's him?
yeah, they just call it Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they call the movie Kevin. Like they don't even call the movie Home Alone. I saw that too. Um, so John Hughes, we're not going to concentrate on him for a long
I'm
time.
pretty sure this podcast is about John
That's why I
Hughes.
said we're not going to delve into John Hughes very long because I feel like I've talked about him enough. But one of the best writers of the '80s, made it directed 8 movies, but writing wise, he wrote some of the best movies, and this was one of them. Now the director I haven't talked about a ton, even though he wrote the movie we did last week, which was Gremlins. The director of this one is Chris Columbus, not the one that discovered America, but this one. So Chris Columbus was supposed to direct. y-
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
He was, and could not. Like he had a dinner, I think, with Chevy Chase, and I don't know if it was that they didn't get along or he was just like, I can't work with this guy.
No, that's what he said. He said, "I cannot work with this
Yeah.
guy,"
And so Hughes offered
which is not
him.
the first time I've heard that about Chevy
No,
Chase.
from what I understand, I think he's kind of persnickety to work with. But this was so this amazed me. I did not realize this. We just watched his directorial debut not too long ago. So Chris Columbus, this was only his second movie that he directed,
What was his first?
Adventures in Babysitting,
Okay.
the Elizabeth Shue one. So he did Home Alone 1 and 2. He directed both of those. He directed Mrs. Doubtfire. So I mean, like the early '90s were great for him. He did 9 Months. Did you ever see that one with Hugh Jackman and
Oh, yeah.
That was a funny movie. And he did Stepmom
Oh, yeah, with
with
Julia
yep,
Roberts. Susan
and Susan.
Sarandon.
Yep. And then he also did. You might have heard of these. He did. I think it's a Wizard Kid.
Oh, Harry Potter's, of
Yeah,
course.
he did the first two. So he
Yeah.
did the first two Harry Potters. And then he obviously has a thing for Christmas because I don't know if he directed, but he wrote. He either wrote and directed or something with the first Christmas Chronicle and Christmas with the Cranks. I think he directed that one. So he's obviously a guy that loves Christmas stuff.
Fun fact, though, about Christmas Chronicles, like you saying when you were a kid, you watched Home Alone and it incentivized you to you wanted to be left home alone so
Yeah.
that and I'm put money on it that you probably tried to set some type of traps or, whatever for
Yeah.
burglars,
Yeah.
and, it incentivizes kids. Well, you know, especially the age that you were when Home Alone came out, our kids are that age for Christmas
Yeah.
Chronicles.
Yeah. And they tried to set
And
traps.
they
Yeah.
set traps for Santa for like 3 different years. They've tried to catch him and have not succeeded, but that movie incentivized them. So it's always like, we've talked about like with Karate Kid and stuff.
Mhm.
Afterwards, you think you're going to be like an amazing
Mhm.
ninja.
Mm-hmm.
You think that you're going to be, like Kevin McAllister and be catching burglars with your, nifty tricks. And our children are just the same with Christmas Chronicles.
Well, and The Sandlot was a big one like that for me too. Like I wanted
That
so
you're gonna be an
bad.
amazing baseball player with
Oh,
all your friends.
I just wanted the 8 friends. I just wanted the 8 friends to go out there and play baseball with like every day.
You could stay outside all day till dinner time and ride your bikes, and your parents didn't know
Yep.
where you were.
Yeah, I wanted that summer. Where you went to the pool, you did all the things they did in that movie. That would have been incredible to have that summer. But, Holy,
Sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. Culkin is like the Michael Jordan of child actors. Like I think he's the goat.
I don't know about that.
Well, so there's a few that maybe compete. But
I'm
if
gonna
you,
throw Dakota Fanning out there.
I had
Come on.
Dakota Fanning on the list, and this isn't a competition. Like we're not. So you had Dakota Fanning, Elijah Wood was a great one. He had some really good ones when he was a kid. Drew Barrymore was a good child actor. She had some stuff
Yeah.
like when she was a kid, and there's a ton. I mean, I'm not going to go like you can go especially if you start going back to the '60s. I'm not even going. But if you look at his like '89 to '93, he did Uncle Buck. He did Home Alone 1 and 2. He did The Good Son.
Oh, that one freaked me out.
The Good Son.
Yeah.
That was when he like went into villain role.
Yeah.
He was the bad one in that. It freaked me out too because he was like as a kid. This was my favorite actor. Like I was like, man, this is going to be my guy until I'm dead. Like this is going to be my guy my whole life. And so I always thought Macaulay Culkin, the man, and then when The Good Son came out, which had him and Elijah Wood in it, that was crazy to me.
Mhm.
And I remember, he even, dropped some bad words, and I was like, Macaulay, what are you doing?
Oh, if
Um,
y'all are gonna be like BFF and stuff, you should know he goes by Mac.
yeah, no, no, no.
That's what Brenda Song calls him, his wife.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Okay,
okay.
just letting you
I call
know.
him Macaulay.
When you write his Christmas card this year
Yeah.
to Mac.
I don't think he would write me back. But then it started going off the rails a little bit because he did Getting Even with Dad, a movie called Page Master, and then after Richie Rich, it was like done.
Oh,
Like
yeah, I
as
forgot about
far
Richie
as yeah,
Rich.
that was like his last hurrah as far as being like a major child
And then he
actor.
went and lived a normal life,
Yep.
but just with bigger paychecks because, he had emancipated himself
Yeah.
from his family at that point.
Well, living off the royalties.
Yeah,
Every time we
still
saw him
is.
on, yeah.
I mean, I don't even really think he does a whole lot of acting now, does he?
He was actually just in a show called Fallout on
Okay.
Amazon Prime. Literally just came out in the last
But
week or two.
there was a good span there, I think, where he didn't do anything.
Yeah, he took he's taken big breaks from acting. He's done some voice
He's living
work and
his
stuff.
life.
So before we get like into the movie, before we start talking about the movie, one thing that I asked you to prep for, it could be one or two, it could be quite a few. It doesn't matter. What were some of your favorite Christmas gifts you received as a
You know,
kid?
when you ask me this question, I try to think really far back, like younger years, and I just really can't. I think there's so much that like there's a block on that I just like can't go past certain years for some
Mhm.
reason. So the ones that I could remember that really stood out to me, I don't remember my ages. Both preteen, I know that. But my uncle Scott got me a JTT poster for my wall and a Hanson CD, and I was stoked. And I don't remember how when I took that poster off, but it was very exciting to get a Jonathan Taylor Thomas poster for my wall.
Did they come the same year? Like they were the
Yes,
same year?
like
Okay.
he got us, me and my aunt, both those
Mhm.
two things. We were the
Mhm.
same age,
It would have either been just based off of the
and it
one.
was the Mbop
Oh,
CD.
yeah, I knew
Just to be
exactly
clear,
which one it
okay,
was. Uh, so based off of the year that came out, I think that came out in 94, 95.
okay.
And so that would be, and it was right in the wheelhouse of Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh yeah, his heyday.
Yeah, yeah. So I would say 94. So you're probably like 7 or 8
Okay.
would be my guess on that one. Yeah, that's funny.
And then my other one was my
Hanson's had a really good comeback, like a
I saw
sneaky.
that.
And when you read the lyrics of Mbop, like I don't know if you've ever like read the lyrics or listened to it slower, like they do slow
No.
versions of it. It's actually a really impressive song, and it's way beyond the years that they were as kids. I would say go back and
Yeah,
just
I
read the
will.
lyrics of Mbop, and you're like, wow, this song actually hits really hard. You wouldn't think it by three guys in the flower video, the music video, but I'm telling you, I promise. I promise.
Hilarious.
All right. So what were you had
My
another one.
other one was my mom one year got me this she was a red-headed angel in a pink dress, and she was porcelain, and she spun around.
Hmm.
And I would have to ask her to confirm this. She probably doesn't remember, but I'm pretty sure it played "Wind Beneath My Wings" when it would rotate. But that got demolished one year. We had a home invasion, and they
Uh,
came in my room and busted a shelf of stuff. So that was gone.
uh,
Yeah,
didn't
Harry
go
and
so well.
Marv
Yeah.
ruined it again.
There was Harry and Marv.
It was. It was the Web Bandits.
If I would have been there, could have set the traps. Any others?
No, that's the only ones I thought of.
Well, I know one that I think that you get every year that is neat, that your mom gives you as a fairy
Oh,
ornament. Your mom gives you a
yes.
fairy ornament
So
every year.
I have a miniature tree, and I am currently 38 years old. I do not have 38 fairies. I don't think she started it until like once again like preteen years getting me the fairies, but and I've lost them over the year, I'm sure. But eventually all of them would like lose a wing randomly through packaging and moving to different places and stuff. So now when she gets them, she thinks it's hilarious. I just go ahead and rip a wing off. So literally every fairy on the tree is a one-winged fairy. And I will say they haven't lost their second wing.
Oh, they're doing good. Well, we box them up well now. We make sure that
I'm
they,
just saying, like
yeah,
I think I just go ahead and take care of business.
yeah. Oh no, now you have to tear the wing off.
Yeah.
You have to break it off every time.
So if you ever want to see my one-winged fairy tree, let me know.
There you go. So Warner Brothers abandoned this movie. like 80 something days into production.
Like, this is too much,
There,
insurance risk?
I can't remember why, but they were just like, we're out. So they were done with it. 20th Century Fox swooped in, and again, we mentioned at the top, $18 million is what it cost to make it, and it made
Warner
470.
Brothers is kicking themselves.
I have to say, to this day, they have to be kicking themselves because this is again one of the biggest movies of all time, and they left it 80 days into production. So I think you had some thoughts. Like when the movie opens, the first thing it shows is the house. Like after the score and credits, intro, all that stuff. So I think you had some thoughts or some stuff about the house
Oh,
itself.
yes. So, first of all, when we see this house, there's a lot of houses in those neighborhoods that look exactly the same. So when we watch like Uncle Buck and there was like another one, I always ask you like, "Is that the Home Alone house?
Yeah,
Is that the Home Alone house?"
yeah.
It is not. It is not. They don't share. This is
This
the
is a
only
one of
movie.
one, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the only movie that house is shown in, and it is in the suburbs of North Chicago. You can still go see it.
Hmm.
They have plenty of people that like come and take pictures outside of it. The exterior shots were all shot at that house, but because of the way the interior was, there wasn't enough room for all of those people, like all your production people plus actors. So they had a gym, a school gym. They found an
Mm.
abandoned school that they started renting, and they built interior sets inside that gym
Hmm.
to be able to shoot the interior scenes. They also, because John Hughes loves Chicago.
Yeah.
They also used that same gym to shoot some Ferris Bueller and Uncle Buck interior scenes at that same high school gym.
That's right. Because when I was listening, so I watched this 3 times this week,
Mhm.
and one of the times I watched it with the director's commentary, and it was Chris Columbus, the director, and it was also Mac, my buddy Mac,
Yeah.
doing the commentary. And so it was really interesting to hear. And Macaulay Culkin mentioned that
Yes.
they used the same set for Uncle Buck, because he was in both movies.
Yes.
Any other
Yeah, I
things
got some
about the
more.
house?
So let's see. The family that owned the house during the production, they were supposed to say an apartment, like they were supposed to rent them an apartment, but I don't think they ended up doing it or they didn't stay in it or something. So they ended up staying in one room of the
Oh
house.
wow.
Like they had like a hot plate and everything. And so they would stay there even during all the
Yeah.
production time.
Yeah.
And the house was sold in 2018 and modernized.
Hmm.
And people flipped out on the internet
Sure.
because you have what you think that house should look like in the inside, and they completely modernized it. I mean, white walls, white everything, just
I mean, they own the house.
very
Yeah.
cold, you know. But good news. In January of this year, 2025, a
Hmm.
new owner took ownership, and they have been working with a company, and they are taking it back to its glory days, and they are putting it back in the 90s.
I'm betting they are going to use that for something.
Oh, you know it. Which, your good friend Mac,
Hmm.
when he saw that it was on sale, he contemplated buying
Oh,
it.
did he really?
He joked about it. I don't know
Yeah.
how serious he was,
Yeah.
but he joked about buying it and making it like a movie house type thing. Like,
Interesting.
so make
Interesting.
more money off
Yeah.
Home Alone
Yeah.
for
Why not?
him.
Why not? That's his thing.
So maybe, I wouldn't be shocked if in the next couple of years you can go tour this bad boy.
Yeah.
But currently, they say their plan is to take it back to its 90s former glory.
Hmm.
Whether you get to see that or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because the Christmas Story house, a movie, The Christmas Story.
Yes.
That house is somewhere in Cleveland, I want to say,
Yeah, in Ohio.
and you can go visit it, and you can actually, I think, at certain times of year, you can actually get the younger brother Randy to do the tours, and he shows up and does it. So I mean, if they ever had a thing where like
So
even
that'll
just
be two child actors that could possibly make money off their childhood.
well, I'm saying even if one of the side characters showed
Yeah.
up, like if one of the cousins showed up and
Yeah.
said, you know what, I'll give a tour, people would be all over that. I mean, that'd be crazy. Any other things on the house?
No, that's what I
Okay.
got.
Did you notice? So one thing they consciously did with the house is the decorations, like the whole house is red and green. Like if you
Mhm.
start looking on the inside,
Yeah, even the
like
tile in the kitchen,
yeah,
the wallpaper.
they wanted to Christmas this movie out as much as possible. And like even a lot of the clothes that Kevin wears, like when he has I think his robe was green and like the pajamas underneath were red
Yeah.
and stuff. Like The bed sheets were red, I wanna
And,
say, or
yes,
green.
they were
Yeah,
red. I am scared of wallpaper, but
yeah.
I want this wallpaper. It's gorgeous.
Too much of a commitment. Too much of
Yeah.
a we'll talk about that after the pod.
Okay.
Um,
2026
yeah,
goals.
yeah. So all the people in the house. Again, we're at the
Too many.
beginning of the movie. It's all the people are there,
You
tons of
really have
family.
to like focus to figure out who is Kevin's siblings and who are
Oh, it
cousins.
took me a long time. It took me
Draw
multiple.
family trees over to
Yeah.
the side.
It was multiple watches before I knew which ones were actually his I thought the oldest one that does the head count,
Yeah.
I thought she was I didn't pick up on it for years that she was the
No, her
brother's
parents
daughter.
aren't even
I
there.
know. I thought she was the oldest of that. Um, so have you ever done a Christmas like that? Like with that many people all together overnight, not in one house, like
Oh no,
for a dinner.
thankfully, our extended family, they come and stay at my grandparents' house when they
Mhm.
would come into town, but like we were already here, so
Right.
we didn't stay the night.
There's a lot of parts I think would be fun. There's a lot of parts I also think would be like, whoa, like this is
Yeah,
crazy.
and
Kind of like what they deal with in this.
you know,
Not losing a kid, but
I
like
always
the
thought about that
pizza.
for my cousins. Like my cousins would come in from North
Mhm.
Carolina to stay at my grandparents' house every Christmas. In reality, for their first like 18 years, they did not have a Christmas at their own home.
No.
And that, just baffles me.
Yeah, so we start meeting some of the characters, start meeting some of the people. We meet Catherine O'Hara. And what was her name? Kate? It was Kate, wasn't it? The
Yes.
mom? So what are your thoughts on her?
That is a very tired mama.
Not the character, the actress.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thought
Yeah,
we were
that's
talking
fine.
about Kate.
Yeah.
You're talking about Catherine.
Yes. Talking about
Great
Cat. No,
stuff.
no, I'm talking about Catherine. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah. She's funny. She
It
was
wasn't until recently that I realized that isn't she Sally
yeah.
in
And
Nightmare
then that
Before
yeah.
Christmas?
Yeah.
Years before I figured that out.
Yeah. She's so funny. She's still funny. She was on a show that we watched for a little while. I'm not gonna say the name of it.
You can't even say the name of
Yeah,
it, but
because
it's a creek.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
creek,
We
and
quit
it's
watching it
hilarious.
because it actually got a little too crude for me,
She
but
is hilarious
she
in
was
it.
funny on there. She was good in Beetlejuice. She was good in a lot of things. But this almost was Kirstie Alley.
Okay.
So she almost had the part. And so I thought that would have been I think this is Catherine O'Hara's part. Like the anxiety, the franticness, like all those
Yes.
things that she portrayed. I think she was the perfect actress to portray that.
Yeah.
And I liked Kirstie Alley.
I
Like
think
I
Kirstie
love
Alley would have been too whiny.
yeah, I loved Look Who's Talking, like that, and that was right around the same time frame as this coming out.
Catherine O'Hara still took charge.
Yeah, yeah. So one interesting thing about her in this movie, Catherine O'Hara, she had to do a lot of her scenes with like a tennis ball because of all the child labor laws that Macaulay Culkin had on him, where he could only work so many hours a
I
day.
know, like now it's 14 and under. I think it's like 2 or 2.5
Yeah,
hours. So I'd be curious to know what it was then. I'm sure it was actually they could work more then than they can work now,
yeah.
but still not a lot.
But there's a ton of scenes where if Macaulay Culkin isn't in the scene, he probably if even if he was in the scene and the camera's not showing him, there's a good chance he wasn't even there. Like the dinner scene, like there's a lot of the dinner scene that he's not even there for. He's only there for his parts of it. Then the way that editing works, they can just film other people. Even when people are talking to him, he doesn't have to be
Right.
there because the way that things are shot. And so, like I thought that was interesting. She did a lot of her stuff just looking at something
Because she's
else
the only one that has like the main one-on-one conversations with him.
as far as their family. Yeah,
Yeah.
she has the most. She has the most. Probably her or Buzz. And apparently the dad, John Hurd, Peter McAllister, didn't really want to be in this movie and
Mm.
wondered like, why am I in this kid's movie? Because he had been in a couple of bigger movies before this. And Al Pacino was actually offered the part.
What?
Yeah, but turned it down. At least that's, internet rumors. But he was also offered the part of Harry. Al Pacino was.
Hey,
So
I am impressed that Joe Pesci did this role.
Joe, I still don't know how Joe Pesci made it through this role. Like so if you notice, so I learned this yesterday, and parents maybe turn down the volume for just a second. I'm not going to say any bad words, but I'm going to allude to them. So with the F word for Joe
Mhm.
Pesci, he would he uses the F word to memorize lines. And he was telling the director that, Chris Columbus, and Chris Columbus was like, "What?" And so he used them. So that's why he would constantly accidentally say them in the dialogues. And so then they made him substitute. And if you listen to him, like especially when he's getting beat up and getting hit and all those things, he's saying frigin. Like he says fridge a lot. He says
Oh,
fridge
okay.
a ton. And so the reason he said fridge a ton was that was his substitute word when he would get hit, because he would accidentally go into normal Joe
Joe
Pesci,
Pesci mouth.
Goodfellas, Raging Bull, casino
I can't
version of Joe
imagine what
Pesci.
the blooper reel looks like just lots of bleep bleep.
Yeah, yeah. But so none of the siblings, like I noticed, none of the siblings seemed to like him. And at 8 years old, like they were making fun of him for not being able to pack a suitcase. I couldn't pack a suitcase at 8 years old. But
No, but the
especially,
way he talks to his mother and stuff, I can understand.
yeah, yeah. No, it was actually like so. I was talking to my friend Daniel about this, and he was watching this movie, and he couldn't get over just how nasty they all were to each other. Like
Yeah.
mom was to Kevin, Kevin was to the mom, like all the things. He's like, man, that whole family. And I guess I'm so numb to it because I've seen the movie so many times that it's what I expect out of the McAllisters. But then when you view it from that lens, it's like, wow, they really are like nasty to each other. So one thing I noticed is, Harry had been there a while. Like Harry's at the house, faking as the police officer. And then the little Nero's guy gets there, which is like a play on Little Caesars, the pizza delivery guy. But Harry was there forever, like a long time. Like they go in there and they eat and then they come back out, like all these things, and Harry's still there. Like that's a long time to leave a police officer just standing in your
Yeah, no one
foyer.
was concerned about the fact that he's even there. Even
Yeah,
the dad when he comes
yeah, yeah.
downstairs,
It was
like,
it was
why
such
is
a
there a police officer in my house?
yeah, such a weird thing. I love when he's talking to Fuller and the other little girl, and he's like talking, and we've all had those awkward interactions with little kids where you're talking to them and they're giving you no responses.
I had that today.
I don't know if you I don't know if you remember that scene though, like when he's talking to them and they're just like
Staring.
staring him down. I mean, when that happens, it's so uncomfortable. I remember we used to get on to Jared for doing that to people because Jared would talk to it. That scene always makes me think of Jared when Jared was like 3 and
You
people,
have to say
yeah,
hi.
you don't have to be friendly, just don't be rude. That was our constant saying to him. So, like we mentioned, the plot point scene when the dad throws away Kevin's ticket. In the dinner scene when Kieran Culkin Fuller, which
Which is
is
Macaulay Culkin's real brother.
exactly playing his cousin in this, but it's his brother in real life. So when his face gets mashed up against the wall, like when they
Yes.
so that was a rubber chair, so they didn't hurt him, and also they had to reshoot that. I don't know if you noticed, Fuller has like not a bad haircut, but like an interesting haircut.
It's like a buzz cut
Yeah, it's
of
like a
some
buzz
sort.
cut with a little spike in the front. Apparently, his hair had changed by the time, and so he had to get the fuller haircut again just to go back and film that one
Poor
scene.
guy.
He was bummed about it because I don't think he liked the
Well, and
haircut.
he's a little kid, so it's not like you can uh negotiate it
Right,
or,
exactly,
make him see sense in it.
exactly. So now this one's not necessarily a big plot point, but I noticed when Kate was talking to Harry, again, she comes back out there, she talks to the police officer, Harry. Um, so she's telling them, Rob, everybody always talks about how much money does this dad make? Like we've heard that. Like you've
Yes.
seen the memes, you've seen,
Yeah, to
the
have this
reels.
giant house with all these kids because I think they have 5 or 6 kids.
She says Rob is giving us a trip to Paris.
Oh, wait, no. Rob is the,
Is the brother.
Yeah.
Yes. But everybody talks about how does this dad afford to do it? Rob's the one paying for the trip.
Yes, he is. But let's take Rob out of the equation. I
Yeah.
don't think they're just wondering how they got to go to Paris. I think people are wondering how he affords this amazingly nice
Yeah.
house in
Yeah.
the suburb of Chicago with that many kids.
Sure. Sure. Well, apparently there was a kind of a backstory on that, and I read that. The mom is supposed to be a successful financial or not financial, fashion
Fashion.
designer.
Yeah.
Yes. And the dad in the screenplay or whatever, I believe was in some kind of marketing where he
Okay.
was successful in marketing. But both of them had successful
That's what I was
businesses.
saying, that she
Yeah.
was tired because I knew she was a fashion designer because, like, when you are in her room, you see, like, the,
The dummies and
the
with the
dummies where she's
wigs. Yeah.
obviously done, like, clothing and there's, measuring
Right.
tools and stuff. But she's got these 5 kids. She's trying to go out of town. She works a full-time job. That
Mhm.
mama is tired.
The dad is too.
Okay. I don't
I'll
see
stick up for our
I don't
dads.
see Kevin going to him asking him for everything.
Well, yeah. But now he stole his dad's fish hooks.
He did.
You couldn't use the ones with the worm guts on them. So during the storm that night, we get a close up of the Santa on their wreath. You ever notice that Santa?
Not till you just pointed it out, but yes,
It is like the
it
creepiest.
is.
Like when I was a kid, I hated when it would close up, and the camera like goes in a weird way. Now the run through the airport, like they wake up, they get going. So the run through the airport was actually through the Chicago O'Hare Airport. Like a lot of times places are filmed not where they're showing on screen.
Is this before you had to do like all the giant security checks and stuff?
Now I don't probably. I
I
mean,
don't
this
know what
was this
year
was
that was.
pre 9/11.
Obviously,
Um,
but
but anyway, I mean, the airport was actually working while they're doing this, so they didn't like
wow.
shut down the airport. Like they just had them
No,
running
think of how
through.
much money they would have lost
Yeah,
if they had done that.
yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't make a fake airport though.
yeah. But then after that, Kevin comes downstairs, his hair being messed up. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, his
Like when he
bedhead.
like they did that big time on purpose. They were like, we want to make this look as realistic as possible, make him look like as little of a kid as possible. And so that was a big choice to have his hair messed up. And there was a lot of deleted scenes during this. Like he had a lot of dialogue that if you have we have the Family Fun edition from '07, which is where I got that director's commentary. A lot of really cool deleted scenes where he has like long dialogues during this
Poor
whole.
kid. What a waste of memorization for him that they
He
cut.
he messed with the director about that. But one thing that was interesting about that, he breaks the fourth wall quite a few times in this movie.
Oh, interesting.
So if you don't know what breaking the fourth wall means, it's like when you talk to the camera, like you can speak to the audience. And so he does that, and they're like little moments. It's not like Ferris. Ferris Bueller's, he would like talk straight to the camera, like full on conversation almost. Uh, in this, Kevin does it just sparingly. It'll be like little lines, little things that he says. So realizes he's home alone, does all the things that we would want to
Oh yeah, jumping on his parents'
do.
bed.
Eating popcorn while jumping on the bed.
Yeah, choking hazard.
Yeah. Looking through Buzz's stuff.
Yes.
I love when he finds a magazine, like, no clothes on anybody, and then throws it back. Uh, and so when he finds the picture of Buzz's girlfriend, most people know this, but
Yes, it is actually a staff member's son in a wig because they didn't want to hurt a girl's feelings by making her
good
feel
move.
super ugly.
Good move. When he's shooting the little basketball player, the little starting lineup figures
Oh,
down
and
the
the
laundry,
laundry
love
chute.
that scene. And then the dessert. Like, like
Yes, the ice cream with the marshmallows and
and
it's almost like an elf dessert right
it
there.
is. It is very, and so
Yeah,
we had.
all the elf food groups.
And we had a fun day the other day. We did a Home Alone day when we watched this for the first time this year. We did the cheese pizza and the Pepsi and the ice cream. With all, we didn't get the big marshmallows, which I was a little bit disappointed about. Um, but like his everything was great. Like that was everything that we wanted to do, which was one of the reasons why I was like, hey, I could be left home alone. But I did have one really big problem with Buzz's room, and this may bore you, but he had an Isaiah Thomas poster in his room.
Who's that?
So Isaiah Thomas played for the Detroit Pistons and was one of the biggest rivals of Michael Jordan. Like they still don't speak.
And they live in Chicago and he's Chicago Bulls.
Yes. And there is no way, because Buzz also was a Michael Jordan fan. There is absolutely no way that he would have a poster of both of them in his room.
Maybe they put that in there for people like you. They'd be like, "Ah, what? No."
Well, the only thing that would make sense is if it had, and I don't have a problem with Isaiah Thomas, but I'm saying if it had like darts on it, would be the only thing that would make sense. Like that was how big the rivalry was. Isaiah Thomas was not on the first Dream Team because Michael Jordan. Like they did not get along. So I had a big problem with that. Angels with filthy souls. It goes to the scene where he's eating his dessert, and we get to see the movie. Do you know anything about that movie?
But
Angels
it
with
was
filthy souls.
made for this. And I know that when then they did the second one and you saw Angels of Filthy Souls 2,
Yeah.
they made that one
Angels
this
with even filthier souls or something like
yes,
that.
something
Yeah.
like that.
And so I thought this was an actual movie when I was a kid. Like
Oh,
I
you,
thought
like, wanted to go rent it?
I didn't know that I wanted to see it, but I thought he was watching like an
Whatever,
actual
you went
movie.
to Blockbuster asking for it.
I would have. But this was a parody of a James Cagney film called Angels with Dirty Faces. Like so it was like I think a 30s movie. And so they were kind of
Obviously left an impression on John Hughes.
And what a move by a little 8-year-old to be like, "I wanna watch this classic film." Like,
Well,
that's
it was obviously forbidden.
that's true. That's true, 'cause I think Uncle Frank is the one, and we're gonna have a lot of Uncle Frank discussion. We're gonna
Oh,
we're gonna
Uncle
we're
Frank.
gonna get to Uncle Frank. Um, and so, the sled down the steps when he
Yeah,
goes
we had some discussions about this,
the
me and my
angles don't work.
children,
Yeah,
of like, this kid's gonna hit the wall. Like
yeah,
he has to do this perfectly to get out the front door.
no. If you slow it down on that scene, you can really tell that it's a 30-year-old man, and
Oh,
yeah,
really?
it's a stuntman. He did that scene, and the one you can really see the grown man is when the zip line, when he's going across. Now that's going
Okay.
to the end, but when he zip lines across to his treehouse,
Treehouse.
when Harry and Marv are after him, um, that's when you can really tell like that's a grown man hanging from there because they do like shots far
I
away.
just haven't paid attention.
Yeah, he's just so much thicker, and you can tell like it looks like he has like some kind of cushioning in case he were to hit something. Um, but we're 28 minutes in to the movie at this point, and that's when we get Harry and Marv on screen together.
Yeehaw.
This, like, they're like peanut butter and jelly.
Yes.
I mean, they're so
Not
good.
just physically, like not
Even the physical is so
like you
good.
got the small and the
Yes,
large and
yes,
not just that, but like somebody's got to be the alpha,
yeah,
somebody's the chief and the Indian,
yeah,
and they work well with that.
yeah. And for non-movie nerds, so Harry is played by Joe Pesci, who's the shorter one, who's the planner. Uh, Daniel Stern plays Marv, the taller one with the sideburns and the curly hair. Um,
Speaking of which, have you seen the interview with Daniel Stern about when this movie came out?
mm-mm.
So he would take his kids to school and he takes his kids inside
Mm,
after this movie comes out. And one of the kids goes home and is locking up his house and doing all the things. And his mom asked him, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Marv's at school." And she's like, "What?" And so he thinks that Marv is his children's, he's
yeah,
going to his children's school.
yeah,
So they actually had to invite that family over to their house for dinner so that
that's funny.
this child could see that he is not a scary man. He was just playing a part.
Well, it makes sense though, because if I'd seen Michael Keaton out like in public when I was 6 years old, I'd be like, "There's Batman." Like I just saw Batman. So this is the perfect time to do this though. So these are the people that either turned down or were considered for Harry. So Joe Pesci's part.
Okay.
Robert De Niro turned it down. Bob Hoskins, who's almost like the same. He was the main guy in Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
So Bob Hoskins turned it down. John Lovitz turned it down. Danny DeVito turned it down.
Oh,
So
Danny DeVito would have been a good one.
Well, Danny DeVito and Joe Pesci to me are a lot in that, not just because of being shorter guys, but they're a lot in that same mold. Danny DeVito would have been really good.
And
Um,
obviously Al Pacino.
yeah, Al Pacino, and then Alan Rickman was also in the mix. Uh,
Oh, okay.
Nakatomi Plaza,
Yes.
yeah. Hans,
He would have been too serious for
yeah,
this role.
yeah, he would have. You probably know him as Snape. I know him as Hans.
Yeah.
Now Daniel Stern was the first choice, but they did cast someone else.
Well, if he's the first choice, why did they cast someone else?
I can't remember why the producers. I think sometimes producers have the override. So first it was Joe Pesci and somebody else, and I don't know who that somebody else was. I tried to look it up, couldn't find it. But they did screen test, did not like it until they went back to Daniel Stern.
Good for Daniel Stern.
Yeah. Here's some of the people that turned. Christopher Lloyd turned it down.
That would have been fun.
Doc Brown, like in case you don't know. So yeah, Christopher Lloyd would have done good. Here's a great one. I love this. Rowan Atkinson auditioned.
Oh, wow.
He auditioned. Now, I don't know how far he got with the audition.
Mr. Bean.
Yes, Jared will love hearing that. Now, this one makes perfect sense. And it almost feels like they were either going for a type or all this is just online rumors because Michael Richards was also considered.
And that is
Kramer from Seinfeld.
Oh,
He would have been so good
yeah.
because he's so good at the physical comedy.
I don't know. He doesn't have that, and maybe this is just what he was playing in Seinfeld, but he
Yeah.
doesn't have that lovable dumbness
He
to
doesn't.
him.
No, he doesn't have the level.
Daniel Stern had that.
Because he was also. Have you ever seen Problem Child? It was a
No.
John Ritter movie.
Oh, yes,
around the same
redhead
time.
kid, yeah.
And he was the bad guy in either the first one or the second one. I want to say the first one. And he does not have the innocent part because he
Yeah.
also played a role kind of similar to Marv, because like I said, he was the bad guy, but he came across a lot darker than Marv did. Marv was like a
Yeah, I
cartoon.
feel like a lot of the ones that you're saying would have come across a lot darker than what
Yeah.
Daniel Stern
Yeah, Daniel Stern was like
was.
Wile E. Coyote.
And even Joe Pesci can be really scary,
Yeah.
but I think having Daniel Stern with him lightened that mood so much
Yeah.
more.
And Chris Columbus said he couldn't for sure remember, but he's pretty sure that Daniel Stern came up with the whole Wet Bandits bit.
Okay.
Like that bit was his.
So he was scary all
and
around.
you know how he does the chewing gum and sticks the snow globes on the van?
Yeah.
That was his idea
See?
to do that. But the main one that he should get really big credit for is he came up with the whole facial hair look. So like the sideburns and the
Oh,
goatee and everything, like how he looked. That was Daniel Stern's idea. Like this guy
okay.
should look like this. So plane lands. There's one watching the deleted scenes. There's reasons they were deleted. It's like this was better off without it. But there's one I wish they would have left in, and it had the brother Rob that we never see in either movie. The brother was at the airport, and the whole family just goes running past him, and like they just like he's not even standing there. Like he's holding up signs like McAllister's or something like that. I just think now seeing both movies, it'd been nice for Rob to have
A
5
part.
seconds of screen time. But so the mom calls the police. This scene bothers me every time.
Yes.
So why does it bother you?
Because they have no concern about this kid being left alone at home.
None.
Have zero interest in doing a welfare check.
No. No. And if you want to look up something funny for the adults here, look up the name of one of the police officers there. One of them had a pretty funny name.
Okay.
The one at the crisis center.
The male or female?
Male.
Okay.
You noticed.
And he is from Friends.
Yeah, he was from Friends, Mr. Heckles.
Yes.
But yeah. So that scene bothers me every single time because, like you said, they show zero concern. I'm like, what do y'all not get about this? The police officer that they send out to the house was the director's father-in-law, or is the director's father-in-law. Like he used
He's
a
in his
lot
phone like, okay, I'll finally let you in one of my movies.
well, there's a lot of I can't remember, like one of the van drivers, like that comes and picks up all the family.
From the shuttle,
Yeah.
airport shuttle.
Chris Columbus's driver on set every day. Like he's the one that drove him back and forth on set.
He can show his family his
Yeah.
cameo.
Yeah, because he kept saying like, there's nepotism all around in this movie. Because the elf at the North Pole, the one that's working
Yeah.
there with Tic Tac Santa, she was like somebody's girlfriend or wife or something, and she's also in the second
I
one.
was about to say
Yeah.
she works at the airport in the second one, I
Yeah.
believe.
So we get to Kevin. He's home alone. All the good stuff. The aftershave scene,
Yes.
improvised by Culkin to do
Like
the
that
scream,
wasn't part of the plan.
to do the whole like hands on the face, which has become like the iconic.
Yeah, everybody knows what that is. The Kevin
Yes.
McAllister.
Yes. So that was his idea. They actually shot 2 versions of this bathroom scene. And they kept both of them because they liked both of them so much. That's why, because I remember even as a kid, I wondered, why does he put the aftershave on twice? It's because it was meant to be one scene, but they liked both of them so much that they kept both of them. And because, there's one where he's singing the White Christmas part, and there's one where he's, talking about how he bathed and all that stuff, and, everything he needs to pick up. But so when he's at the store,
Oh,
and I'm sorry, go ahead.
let's talk about I think this is pre-store. It may not be. When he goes to buy the toothbrush.
That's where we're going.
Okay.
That's where we're going right now.
The fact that cops don't care about doing a welfare check, but we're going to chase a child onto an ice skating
Yeah.
ring for a toothbrush. Priorities, people.
Yeah, I love when the worker there, she asks, I can't remember the guy's name, like, is this approved by the dental association? He's like, I don't know. His response though, like if you go back and pay attention, he's like, why are you even asking me this? But that was actually the first day of shooting.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're like, it bothers me, it weirds me out. Like when you find out,
Then
like,
they shoot them out of sequence.
yes, it bothers me. It knocks away the magic. Or when you find out things like Kevin wasn't actually, or Macaulay Culkin wasn't even actually here on set that day. Like,
Then why do you do this podcast?
oh, it's neat though. Like, but it just takes away some of the magic sometimes. So the scene where they almost run over Kevin, like because he's going home,
Yes.
and they almost hit him in that driveway. It was shot backwards because if you think about it, you can't get that close to hitting a kid with an actual van. So they would have him screaming, the van like right up to his face, and then the van would start backing away
Oh,
instead
interesting.
of coming up to him and him having to scream. And he even had to walk backwards to it. So like if you watch that scene, he actually did it like in reverse, which was really interesting. Um, and then when he runs away, like they kind of follow him down the street. And when he says, when those guys come back, I'll be ready. They added that because the screen testings, people were confused. They were like, why does because that night is when he sets up.
Because they've come back more than once at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. But that night is when he sets up like the fake party.
Yes.
And so like, he's like, when they come back, I'll be ready. So French version of It's a Wonderful Life is playing. This is the third Christmas movie that I've noticed that has It's a Wonderful Life in it.
Then maybe you should give it another chance.
Well, how do you feel about It's a Wonderful Life?
I like it.
Not a fan. Not a fan. So it was in this, and it's the French version. Maybe better. I don't know.
Yes, they completely changed the whole movie and the
Yeah.
premise of it.
Why not? Why not? It was in this, it was in Gremlins, and it was also in Vacation. Like
So
right.
is that one where they sing the song "Sisters," White Christmas. That's always on too.
Yeah, it is.
I
I
think they're
tried.
just like I
tried
think
with
to
that one.
me and you, a Christmas classic is A Christmas Story.
Or
But to
Elf,
a
yeah.
lot of people, a classic Christmas is those.
Oh, no, I understand
And
that.
Meet Me in St. Louis.
I understand that, and I try to watch some of the old stuff. I did, like I try to give. I watched one. Can't remember the actor and actress's name. It was called the Holiday Affair. Last year was like in '48. It came out it was really good. Really interesting movie. I just couldn't get into It's a Wonderful Life, and a lot of it was because it didn't even feel like it took place.
I don't think it was actually meant to.
No, because I think It's a Wonderful Life came out in the summer. So when it shows the family there, one interesting thing there is there were more scenes with the family in France, but audiences were like, we need to get back to Kevin. Like they constantly wanted to be with Kevin or with Harry and Marv. So a lot of the scenes that were not shot there, they were like, we need to get back to wherever he's at because people just loved seeing him so much. Now, one of the most talked about scenes, he goes grocery shop.
Yes.
And so the grocery total, our dogs were just making some noise. The grocery total was $19.83. What would be your guess now of what that would cost?
180.
The thing I read was like $72.
Nah.
But you're going with 180.
Yeah.
I love the I've got a coupon for that line.
Yes.
Like he's grown up a lot. Like
He learned to do laundry, wash dishes.
and he was only home for like 3 or 4 days. I would have lived off of TV and junk food
Yes,
for
you
3 or
would've.
4 days. Like I would have survived off all that. Like
You are 42 and would still live that way.
I would. I would. You were gone for a couple of days this week. I was like, I'm doing nothing.
You did do laundry.
Yeah. But so when he's walking out and the groceries pop out of the
Paper sacks.
yeah, they fall through. He had strings that he could pull that made them collapse.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat.
Which also, as we talked about in the Uncle Buck podcast, I'm pretty sure that's the same street that Tia walks down.
Looks just like it's almost shot for shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we go to Kate, and she's left or she stayed at the airport. She's flown around, all that stuff. And then we figure out that do you remember what city she was in when she meets Gus?
Well, I don't know.
The Electric City. Scranton. What?
Scranton, PA.
The Electric City. And so the John Candy scene. Do you know how many hours that he was there on set?
Didn't he only have, I think I read this somewhere, didn't he only have like 24 hours or something?
Had to be less than 24.
Oh, okay.
So he worked for 23 hours straight.
Do you think he did that just out of the goodness of his heart and his love for John Hughes?
I hope so, because you know how much he got paid for that day?
How much?
14.
Yes, he had to have done that for his love for John Hughes and just helping him out.
Almost all of his lines were improvised. Like the whole thing about
Maybe that was the negotiation. I need you to come here for this.
Mhm.
I need you to do this one part. I'm only going to be able to pay you this, but you get to make it up as you go. And John Candy was like, yeah, take me back to my improv days.
He got to be full on ham. Like,
Yeah.
he got to do whatever he wanted. And I mean, like the whole Kenosha Kickers, the Polka King in the Midwest, like all that stuff. And they were very big in Sheboygan. because that's where they sold all the
Polka,
copies.
polka.
So here's a question for you as a mom: would you take the van with the polka bumps?
Unfortunate, the responsible person in me says no, I would not.
This is a tough one though.
But like, there's choices that I've made. Me and my mom went to go see a show in Atlanta, and we got in this faraway parking lot, and somebody was giving van rides for like $5 or $10. We're like, yeah, sure.
Oh
And
my God.
as we're in the van, I'm thinking to myself, this is how people get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Right here, like in that moment, like, so I would like to say that I would make the responsible decision, but I don't know. And especially if I'm a panicking mom thinking of any way that I can get to my child, you will move, all things to make
That's
that
the conundrum,
happen.
right? Like that's the part that's challenging. True story is she's never seen again. Like
Yeah.
that's the true story
Yeah.
because like she got in a van with 8
A
guys,
a
a
moving
U-Haul
van.
van.
Yeah,
Yeah.
U-Haul.
And so Harry and Marv, they figure out that Kevin's home alone. Takes them a while to figure it out. There's a bunch of scenes in between there. This always bothered me. Why would they announce that they're coming back at 9 o'clock?
They were talking to each other in the driveway. He was overhearing them.
Why wouldn't you wait till you get in the car?
Well, they're also burglars.
It,
So
it-
let's not really test their, smart levels.
It just bothers me every time.
Smartness.
Bothers me every time. So, okay. Kevin goes to visit Santa Claus. Like we're getting near towards the end of the movie.
Oh, I got a fun fact about that.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do.
Santa Claus, which it also makes me sad at the same time.
Yeah.
My beloved Chris Farley auditioned for the role of Santa. He obviously didn't get it. And I don't know if this was like because he just wasn't meant for it, or was this because he was on one of his bingers?
This would have been early Chris Farley though. Like this was
He's
1990. Yeah, no, but I'm saying like this would have been
pre-Tommy Boy.
early. Yeah, oh, definitely. This was 5 years before Tommy Boy.
Okay.
So this would have been early.
So maybe it was he just wasn't a right fit.
I'm betting he wasn't the right fit, or this guy. I mean, the guy that did it did a good job.
Yeah.
And that guy's been in other things. Like he was in Groundhog Day, and he was
Do
in
you remember
Armageddon.
those thick glasses on people
Oh,
that
yeah.
he had?
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember those.
Yeah. One thing that was interesting about this scene, and I loved it. I think for every movie that I can find director's commentary now, I'm going to try to find it. The car actually broke down. When the
Aw,
Santa
makes
pulls
sense.
away, the car breaks down. Like it actually breaks down on him, and so that actor just went with it. Like I think he says something like "Oh dang it" or something like that. Like he actually just goes with it because the car broke down. I thought that was kind of funny.
Fitting.
Yeah,
Tic Tac Santa.
yeah. I love that nickname. So after the church scene with Marley, which is like we haven't even talked about Old Man Marley yet, and we
And
will.
okay, I'll wait till
We
then.
will. That is one of the that scene in the church is one of the reasons why I say like Macaulay Culkin's the Michael Jordan of child actors. Like this guy's got it. He's got it. Like there's the it factor that you just can't teach.
Yes, he
And
does.
he's got it. And in that scene is when he shows it. In the questioning Uncle Buck, in the Uncle
Yes.
Buck scene, is when he's showing like, I've got it. I can pull out the 5 tools when I need to. And so in that scene, when you watch him, I can't remember that actor's name. He was in I'm talking about Old Man Marley. He was in what was the Spielberg movie? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He was in it. Didn't know that was him. A much younger version. So it always bothers me though when he heats up his food. He knows they're coming at 9 o'clock. He's heating up his food at 8:57.
That's when he had time. He was busy making traps.
I mean, I understand that, but at that point, you're like, what? I'm just gonna wait.
Have me a granola bar.
Yeah, I mean, eat something quick. That's not when you do your Kraft mac and cheese. So the original ending of the movie. I know I'm skipping over the whole burglary scene, but that's because we're going to talk about it
Okay.
at length. So the original ending was when Kevin says, I just hung around. When his parents ask him,
Oh yeah.
what have you been doing? But it was added to have the scene where he looks out and sees Marley with his family because they wanted that more emotional.
Happy
They
ending.
did. And two, they left with a really good joke of Buzz yelling out, yeah, what happened to my room or whatever he yelled
What
out.
did you do to my room?
Yeah. All right. So now just a little bit of random trivia here. The original script was R-rated.
Well, yeah, it's a John Hughes. Didn't he write it in like 9 days or something?
It was a really quick write. I can't remember exactly how many days, But it originally the traps, like his booby traps, what does Harry call it? His house of horrors or his fun house of
I think
whatever.
it's House of Horrors.
Yeah. It was going to do actual damage. Because we've talked about, like, with these movies, if the actual things happened to
Oh,
Harry and Marv,
yes.
there's no way they survive. And so the movie at first was actually going to be damaging to those guys, to where it wasn't like, because it turned they made it Looney Tune damage.
Yes.
They made it fun and cartoony and Three
Well, and
Stooges.
like we've discussed, like they built the sets in a gym so that they
No,
could pull those stunts.
exactly, exactly. And so the OK Plumbing van was really bought by a company. It was used in the Chicago area.
Were they really called OK Plumbing?
I don't know if they went by OK Plumbing, but
Because that's who I want to come to fix my plumbing.
so for almost a decade, people would request that they bring the van to their house and come to do the repairs, working out of that van. So I thought that was really neat. Old Man Marley, not in the original script.
I have a question about Old Man Marley.
Okay, but he was added in rewrites for emotional weight. What is
Yes.
your question?
So, when we watch like 80s movies, even early 90s, and people look way older than what they are
I think he's in his 60s.
in this movie,
Mhm, mhm.
I mean, still, that he looks way older than his 60s.
Yeah, no. So, one really neat thing I hope you have not heard about Marley, that is, I had two people send me this week, knowing I was preparing this podcast. Marley, have you heard the spiritual thing connected to Marley?
No.
Okay. So he's seen as a representation of Jesus.
Okay.
And here's the evidence. So the first time he's seen, that's the reason I haven't talked about him until now. The first time he's seen, what's he doing?
He is salting the sidewalks.
So first he's seen salting the sidewalk, seen as serving people. In Luke 14:34, it says, "Salt is good, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall it be how shall its saltiness be restored?" So right there, he's salting the earth. So the second one is he was misunderstood by his neighbors, just like Jesus was.
Mm-hmm.
The third one, when he comes into the shop and sees Kevin, you remember what he stuck on
His wounded hand.
and it was blood on both sides,
Mm-hmm.
like it was pierced through. So there's that one. And then he shows up in the church when Kevin is seeking guidance. Like
Mhm.
Kevin goes into the church and Marley just happens to show up right when Kevin goes there needing guidance. And in the end, what does Marley do?
He saves him.
He saves him. So, like,
I like this theory.
yeah,
I do. Because I love when you can put a spiritual aspect
Sure.
on something for people.
but more importantly, let me
know.
let me put
Okay.
a bow on the savior part of it.
Okay.
He saved Kevin when Kevin could
Couldn't
not
save
save himself.
Deep.
Deep, but yeah, I agree with you that they did
I
not.
don't know that John Hughes wrote a Christian perspective into his film.
No, but it's
But
just
I'm here
fun
for it.
when we can put
He
the
did it
spin on it.
unknowingly,
Yeah.
obviously.
When we can put the fun spin on it. Yeah, like I said, I had two people send me that. Josh, thank you for sending. Juan, thank you for sending. Because I had not heard that before they
I
sent
like it.
So Uncle Frank.
Worst uncle ever.
Do you know who? And this actor makes total sense. He was written with Kelsey Grammer in mind.
Okay.
I could see Kelsey Grammer playing that.
Yeah.
Couple of other random trivia things. Macaulay Culkin said he had a scar on his finger.
Oh, yeah, where Joe Pesci actually bit him in
Yes.
rehearsals.
Yes. Which they said, Chris Columbus said, like, Joe Pesci would kind of jokingly do it, but he kind of had the feeling that Pesci did not like Macaulay Culkin because Macaulay Culkin was the star. Like he kind of felt like there was just a little bit of a
angst there.
Rivalry there. Not from Macaulay Culkin's part, but from
Yeah.
Pesci's part. Last thing we'll say about that, please go back. We saw this last night
Oh my goodness.
and kept dying laughing. Me and my son Jared did. Go back and look at the stuntman used for Marley in the scene where he hits Harry and Marv. I had
When
never
he
noticed it
saves
before.
Kevin.
It looks nothing like him. I mean, like they said, it's like a 14-year-old guy with a beard on. Like it looks.
It's a very bad stunt double.
It's a very bad stunt double. All right. So a few questions that need answers, and then we'll get to the reindeer games.
Okay.
Could this? And we kind of talked about this a little bit, but do you think could this actually happen?
Yes.
How so?
Forgetting your child portion, like, with all
Hmm.
that like, all of that is realistic,
No,
unfortunately.
no,
All like, how it all occurred, like, all of that I think is realistic. Now, the traps portion, no.
yeah,
Harry and Marv would have been dead
no,
after trap number 3.
no. Yeah, I don't know why it made me think of this, but at least it's not leaving him in a funeral home. And then I love when he says, like, oh, he started talking again, like 6 or 7 weeks. Like again, going back to John Candy I don't know why I'm going back to John Candy, but his parts were so good. Like his parts were gold, almost as gold as the jacket he was wearing.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think one of the biggest dangers for parents, like when there's a whole family thing in there, is thinking someone else is watching your kid.
Yes.
And so, like, if it was just the parents with their 5 kids, I guarantee you they do not leave Kevin. But when there's that many and you think like someone else has Kevin, because the oldest cousin counted and said we had all 15 or
And
whatever
the
it was.
ticket was thrown away.
Exactly.
Bag was already packed. They
Exactly.
had the right amount of luggage, and all
Exactly.
the kids were sitting in coach while they were
Yeah.
sitting in first class, which poor parenting move.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the second question before we get to the reindeer games. Think you ever told anybody, Kevin? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
but in the sec, like,
Oh, oh,
I don't think I think it's one of those things
because
like
he doesn't really let his parents even know in the first one. They just know that they forgot him. They don't know all the things that
yeah, they asked
happened.
what happened. It just hung around. Like he doesn't tell them. I would
Mm,
be telling somebody later on,
yeah,
especially
and
later
he's
on.
he's a mouthy kid,
Yeah,
so I have a feeling he told somebody at some point,
yeah.
maybe
I just
years
always thought that
later.
was interesting. Like he kept it to himself. All right. So the reindeer games.
Okay.
I've kind of dropped this one, but I thought it was so good from this movie, which is best souvenir from the movie. Like what if you were
Ooh.
stealing a prop from the movie, what would you want? And if you have some off the top of your head, you can go. I've got a whole list of them.
I'm gonna need the list,
Okay.
please.
The BB gun would be a good one.
Okay.
The statue that keeps getting knocked over. I love that bit.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Like I would love to have that in the front yard. Just, and I would almost want to put it somewhere where people would hit it.
Yeah.
Harry and Marv's crowbars
Okay.
would be good ones. Harry's gold tooth would be a funny one to have.
Gross.
I would love to have the VHS copy of Angels with Filthy
Yeah.
Souls. That'd be funny to have. Uh, Polka King jacket.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. Uh, Kevin's blueprint. His
Battle
trap. Yeah,
plan.
the battle plan. And then the Michael Jordan cardboard cutout.
Oh, yes. You don't want a picture of Buzz's girlfriend?
Oh, that would be good.
That would be a good one.
That'd be a
And
great.
I always like those souvenirs or things that are like obscure, like only true fans
Yeah.
get. Like
Yeah.
I worked my daughter's Santa shop a couple of weeks ago, and there was a girl wearing a
Our daughters.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. There was a woman wearing a sweater, and it was like Tree Hill High,
Yeah.
and only
What's that
those that
from?
watch One Tree Hill
Oh, okay.
know that, like, it said, like, Tree Hill Ravens, like, only the people who've seen it know what that is.
Only true tree healers.
Yes.
Yeah. 'Cause
Um,
I didn't know.
know what that is.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the kind of souvenirs that I like when it's obscure, but, like, only the true fans get it. So, I would probably go with the statue.
I'm statue 100%. Like
Yeah,
all the
like, I
there's
might I might look into investing that in that
there's
this
so
year.
many cool things, but the statue would be the one I'd want. Like that's the best one. Schmuckiest Uncle Frank moment.
Yeah.
So when he doesn't pay the pizza guy, he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we have traveler's checks." Calls their 8-year-old son a jerk right in front of me. Like, look what you did, you little jerk. I couldn't imagine anybody calling one of our kids a jerk like right in front of us. Tells his wife to steal the crystal. This is real crystal. Tries to get her to put it in her purse.
That's a big one for me. And
Yeah,
then when she realizes that she
yeah.
lost Kevin, he's like, "Horrible. Just horrible.
That's not even my favorite line when he first realizes, because then I feel like he's
When
trying to
have I forgot my
sympathize. Yeah, if it
glasses?"
makes you feel any better, I forgot my reading glasses. Like that. So out of those, which one do you think is the schmuckiest uncle? I love to dislike Uncle Frank. I love that he's in this movie.
I'm gonna say the crystal on the airplane.
Oh,
Like, it just shows your class.
I think the reading glasses. I think the reading glasses show how out of touch that he is with other people's feelings.
Yeah.
because like he's comparing the fact if it makes you feel better, I forgot my reading glasses. Like, no, actually, dummy, that doesn't make me feel any better. That's my son. You're talking about your reading glasses. We can pick a pair of those up at the airport. All right. So if you were getting in your car right now and you're about to turn on your Polka King of the Midwest, Gus, which song would be next up on your playlist? Would it be just based off of the name, the
Oh,
title
the
alone?
titles that
Yeah,
he gave for his
yeah.
songs.
They were very big in Sheboygan. Um, Polka Polka Polka, Twin Lakes Polka, Kiss Me Polka, or Polka Twist?
Ooh, polka twist.
Yeah,
I don't know. I always have when I think of him though, I always say the polka
yeah,
polka.
yeah. And I think that's the Polka Twist. I think that's when he does
Oh
that.
yes. So I'm definitely going with polka
And
twist
again, the
then.
fact that he makes all that, he's just riffing, like he's
I
just
wonder
going.
if I like pull up my Apple Music tomorrow and I just put in polka.
I can't
I'm
remember
just
his last name. That's bothering me. And I know it's Gus, but I keep on wanting to say Zelensky, but
no,
that's
that's
uh Tommy
Dane
Boy. Yeah,
Aykroyd.
yeah. Um I'd have to go with polka, polka, polka. Like I'm just into like why three? Why three polkas? So all right. So if you had to take one route into the house, and we're gonna go one by one here. One route into the house. Would you take Harry's route into the house? Ooh.
Oh, you meant that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can't. We're talking about the highlight of this movie is those guys getting beat up. So if you had to take Harry's route into the house, or you had to take Marv's route into the house, and I've got it broken down for you, so don't worry.
Okay.
So Harry, and this is the order that they happen in too, I believe, unless I messed up, which could
Okay.
happen. Harry gets shot in the crotch with a BB gun to start it all off, like he sticks it out the doggy door, sticks the BB
Yeah.
gun out the doggy door. Marv gets shot in the face with a BB gun, like when he sticks his face in the doggy door. All right. Next, it shows Harry, he slips on the ice, falling flat on his back. Okay. Marv slides down the steps and then falls, and the crowbar falls on him. Okay. Then Harry slips down the steps once again after he gets up to the top. Now, Marv's in, he pulls the light switch, and the iron falls on his face. So these are all the things that are happening to these guys. All right. And Harry burns his hand on the doorknob, which was apparently like an homage to Raiders of the Lost Ark. When the guy burned his hand on the coin and it shows
Okay.
the. I never knew that. Meanwhile, Marv steps on the nail, which I think was done with a rubber nail. Isn't
It
that what we
was.
heard? Yeah, all these things didn't actually happen. But the stuntman, they
Thank you for
said,
clarifying.
well, they did say the stuntman, like there were certain stunts, especially when like Harry was falling back on the steps and stuff. They said there were certain stunts that happened to where they would like hold their breath, like, is he going to get up? Like the stunts were just that realistic and
Hmm.
they were that good at it. And then,
Except for Old Man Marley.
yeah, yeah. He was good at it. He just didn't look anything like Marley. Like when you go back, the guy's nose looks nothing like. I mean, they didn't imagine us having the TVs that we have now. Where was I at? Okay, let's see. Uh, Marv slips again when he walks back out. He walks back out after the nail. After he's got the tar on his feet, he walks back out,
Yes. And
slips
you
and
hear him go
falls.
whoop.
Yep. Meanwhile, Harry gets his head torched, which was used with mirrors. Like they
Okay.
did something with mirrors to make that happen. And then Marv gets into the house after walking barefoot through the snow, which he wore like rubber fake feet, which you can see. Like if you look close, you can definitely see the rubber like shoes that he's wearing. But he insisted on being barefoot for the ornament scene. And it was done with some kind of
They
like,
used candy.
yeah. But so Marv steps on the ornaments. This is the only one that didn't make that much sense to me. And Chris Columbus even said, like in screen testing, they didn't get a lot of laughs. The sticky stuff on the face
Yeah,
for
the
Joe Pesci and the
glue.
feathers, like the glue and they said that one
That's a
didn't.
long-term effect, not an instant repercussion.
Yeah, yeah. Now, and these are the ones. So these two, they were together. Micro Machines, they slip and fall together. But they said that this movie caused like a super big shortage in Micro Machine sales, like where they were selling just tons of them because kids wanted them.
They're gonna make traps.
And then they both get hit by the paint cans, which I love.
Oh god.
If you can go back and watch Marv's face right before he gets hit, it's the best. Daniel's, I'm so glad it wasn't anybody else because he makes the best faces. And I'm so glad it was Joe Pesci because, again, they just so good together. But the last two that are separate, Marv has the tarantula on his face,
Yes.
which we learned a lot about that scene. It was real
Do you want to
tarantula.
talk about that right now, or you want to
Sure,
wait?
let's go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, they say we're going to use a real tarantula, and Daniel Stern is like
Who
terrified.
wouldn't be?
I think he had to go through some like training or whatever on like how to deal with the tarantula.
Hmm.
And they bring the tarantula guy and they're like, you're going to put it on his face and he's going to scream. And the tarantula
Trainer.
handler
Yeah,
says, if you do that, he is going to sting.
yeah, because it'll
Like,
scare the tarantula. Yeah,
yes. So they had to silently ad lib all of it. And Daniel Stern had to add the scream in later.
yeah, yeah. He like mimed his scream, like it
Yes.
was a silent scream, and then they dubbed it over later with him.
Yes.
Yeah, which great screamer. Like,
Yes.
like in the second one, I mean, I know this is like in the second one, he's getting electrocuted. Like he screams so funny. Like he makes the scream so funny. But so he gets the tarantula on the face, and then he knocks the tarantula off. It falls onto Harry, and Marv hits Harry like in the chest, stomach, sternum, wherever, like
Yes.
in that area with the crowbar. So that's everything that happens to them as far as separately. And then they both run into, like they're going across to the tree house and Kevin cuts the line. They both run into the house, but that's together.
I'm
So,
gonna pick Marv's route because
mm,
too many burn victim type
yeah,
stuff for Harry. I need my hands.
the tarantula on the face. That's tough.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get bit by it. And
No.
Harry gets hit. So I think I would have to take Marv's route too, but I could not do either one. After the one slide down the steps, like the very first, actually the BB gun to the face, I'm like, Harry, man, it was, we tried. We gave it everything we had.
Well, at this point, I don't
No
think
silver
it's
tuna.
I don't think at this point it's silver tuna.
Yeah,
At this point, they're afraid that this kid's gonna rat them out.
yeah, yeah. Maybe, but either way, I'm out. I'm like, you know what? We had a good run. We had a good run. So the last competition, and then we're going to get to something else. And for this one, it is called Chloe's favorite quote.
Oh yes, our friend Chloe.
How old is Chloe?
Chloe is
Five.
4.
5. Okay,
She'll
4.
be 5 soon.
Okay, okay. So her dad Jeremy sent me a lot of these as far as her favorite quotes. And one,
Our friend Chloe loves Christmas,
and she
anything
loves Home
Christmas
Alone.
and Christmas movies, and Home Alone is top tier to her right now.
Yes, and she quotes the movie a lot and has lines that she loves to say, which are great lines. Like she did a really good job. I'm going to give you all of hers, and then I added 2 just because they're 2 I didn't want to forget. But all of the Kevin ones are all her. I left her with all Kevin. So every Kevin line came straight from Chloe.
Good.
So the first one is "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal," which Macaulay Culkin ad-libbed that. When he like lips it,
Yeah.
when he mouthed it, he added that. Hey, I'm calling the cops.
I have a video of Chloe telling me that.
Yeah. I made my family disappear, which is one of the breaking the fourth wall moments that we talked
Yes.
about. Do you hear me? I'm living alone. I'm living alone. When he yells that out.
Chloe has said that one too.
Yeah. This one, I'm so glad Jeremy texted me this one because it's so funny. Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
Just imagine Chloe
I know.
saying
I know. That's what made them so good. And so the 2 that I'll add again were not, and these are just ones that crack me up. I love when the old guy is talking to Kate and she's trying to negotiate with him to take their plane tickets, and he says, she's got her own earrings, a shoebox full of them, dangly
Dangly
ones.
ones.
I love that line. And then I think it's just the whole situation when the mom yells out, "Fuller, go easy on the Pepsi," and Fuller looks.
He's got the eyebrows
Yeah, he does
dancing.
that whole little moment. I love that. So, which of Chloe's quotes would be your favorite?
Buzz's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because it's my favorite line or imagining Chloe, a 4-year-old, saying that.
I think it's, yeah. So we're giving this category completely to Chloe.
Congratulations, Chloe.
Yes. So it's the Buzz your girlfriend. Woof. All right. So now
I would just also like to say that Chloe has 2 older teenage brothers.
Yeah.
And so I can just imagine Chloe saying this to
Hunter
his...
might not be a teenager anymore. I don't
Is
know.
he? I don't know. I don't know that he's 20 yet.
Gotta be
but
close.
he may be.
Yeah.
But I can just imagine Chloe saying this when
No.
they do bring girlfriends around.
Yes. Oh,
Like
man.
a default.
So funny. So good. All right. So now we get to the point where you get to work a lot.
Oh, cool.
So this is Tia's Christmas movie, Mount Rushmore. And so the way I like to do it is there's a little bit of outside looking in because I like to talk about movies. And so, what are some of the ones that you love but did not quite make your Mount Rushmore?
Okay. Okay. I've got Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol.
That's a really good one.
It's on the cutting room floor.
No,
I like it.
no.
It's up there for me.
The thing I liked about that one is like I listened to the audiobook last year, not of Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol, but the original, Charles Dickens.
I read it this
Yeah,
year.
and that one's so close.
Yes, the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol is like almost verbatim
Yeah,
the book.
yeah. It's funny, the Muppets Christmas Carol is the one that's become like one of the most popular in the past few years that I've noticed. Is like people talk about like crazy, but that one's probably my favorite Christmas Carol is the Jim Carrey one.
Oh yes.
The Jim Carrey one.
Also on the cutting room floor, Best Christmas Pageant Ever.
It's a great movie.
It is.
Great movie.
My Puerto Rican Christmas of Nothing Like the Holidays.
I love that movie. That's one. So when I did the Christmas movie picks, when I just did like a short little episode of movies that you might forget to watch for Christmas, I forgot to mention that one. And I hated that I forgot to mention that one because I really like that movie. And if you haven't seen it, it's got a really good cast. John Leguizamo's in it. Deborah Messing's in it. Who's the dad? Alfred Molina. But just really good movie. We watch it just about every Christmas.
Yes.
I can't believe I forgot that one. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Also on the cutting room floor is Elf.
Mm.
It doesn't make my top 4.
Interesting. Okay.
I love it, but it doesn't
No.
make my top 4.
No,
Okay, now I have my top 4. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. The Grinch. The new one.
The cartoon one, the
Yes,
Illumination one. Okay.
yes.
That's a really good one.
I love that one.
Mhm.
I love the little girl in it.
It's really hard to picture Benedict Cumberbatch
Yes,
as the Grinch.
it
Like,
is. I like it though.
And I remember when I first heard that he was going to be playing the Grinch, I was like, that's
I
not.
like it.
But he did a really good job with it. And one weird thing about that one, here's me being just a nerd for a second. I'm sorry.
Fun fact.
So that's the first version of the Grinch with white eyes.
Okay.
In the Jim Carrey one, he had yellow eyes, and the old one, he had yellow
okay.
eyes. Like,
Yeah.
so that one, he has white eyes. Yeah, just go. Yeah.
I'll put Home Alone in my top 4,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Family Stone.
Okay.
I put that in my top 4.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. It was a good
Every
one.
year.
It's a really good one.
And
Very good Craig T. Nelson acting in that movie. Like,
yes.
yeah,
Yes. And Four Christmases.
that's a funny one.
It's in my top 4.
Yeah. It made my Mount Rushmore for Robert Duvall.
Yes.
And I'm sure that Robert Duvall would probably be like, are you serious?
Out of all the amazing things that I've done,
Yeah.
that's in
Yeah.
your
I mean,
Mount
that guy,
Rushmore.
that guy's like, one of those probably actor among actors, like where actors get together and talk about, can you believe how good Robert Duvall is? And then the fact that I would say Four Christmases is one of my favorite Robert Duvall's. So your 4 were Four Christmases,
Family Stone,
Family Stone.
The
Okay.
Grinch, and Home Alone.
Okay. I have not done mine yet.
Okay.
So
Were you saving it for this? You
yeah, I
wanted
was
to
saving it
do
for the
with
last.
me?
Yeah, I was saving it for the very last
Sweet.
Christmas episode. I did not do an outside looking in,
Okay.
just because there's so many Christmas movies. But I will give you my 4,
Okay.
and they are pretty easy to guess.
Are
Christmas.
we in sync?
No.
Okay.
Christmas Vacation
Okay.
is
Of course.
yeah. That would be honestly that would be the first one I carve in. Home Alone is right after that. Die Hard is number 3.
Really? In your top 4? Not even cutting room floor?
It's not even close to the cutting room floor.
And just so people know, his love for Die Hard, he has like 2 ornaments. And our friend Trevor got him a Die Hard Christmas shirt. And our friend Jeremy
Yeah.
got him what is the tower called?
Nakatomi Plaza.
Nakatomi Plaza. And it is a Christmas countdown where he's falling off the
Hans.
building.
Hans
Hans
is
is
falling
falling
from
off
the
the
building.
building.
Yeah. Right now he's 4 days away from splat.
Okay.
But yeah. So and then Love Actually. Those
Oh,
are my 4. Now viewers beware. Love Actually is a vid angel.
Not a family movie.
Well, it's a vid angel for sure. I vid angeled it and it cuts a whole storyline out. Me and Josh talked about that. But yeah, when you
There's
vid
no way
angel-
not to.
Yeah, there's no way not to. But those are my 4. But thank you for doing this movie. Any other Home Alone thoughts that you have?
No.
All right. Well, everybody, Merry Christmas. Hope you enjoyed this episode. You never know. This may be when we come back and we do Home Alone Part 2 next year because there's just so much to talk about with this movie. But Merry Christmas. Thank you for listening.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to bump us up in the algorithms. You can send my dad any suggestions of movies you'd like for him to cover at themoviepick@aol.com. Thank you for listening.